Hello everyone, it's Miss B, that's me. And today's video is going to be about Karrine Steffans, also known as Superhead. And she originally interviewed on the Tyra Banks show in 2005. She was upset because Tyra was in her Mean Girl era and she pretty much SLUT shamed Karrine. And Karrine still feels a way about Tyra in 2024. So recently, Karrine Steffans did a live on IG and it lets you know that she still feels a way about Tyra Banks and how she was made to feel in that interview.
We're back with the controversial author of Confessions of a Video Vixen, Karrine Steffans. Now, the views expressed in her book are not mine, and I want to make this very clear that I have no idea if these allegations are true or not. Now, this book is a cautionary tale. Who's this a cautionary tale to?
Well, what's happening is that a lot of women have unrealistic views of this part of the industry. You have a lot of young girls who want to, at a very early age, just be video girls, and they think that that's modeling. I get emails on my website, which I have been getting for over the last 2 years, of people asking me, how do they get into this? I want to be a model. So how do I get into the next yin yang video? Or, and I have to explain that that's not modeling, and I've never been a model, and that's not what it is, and that's not how it happens. They're actually changing their minds about what they thought the industry was like, thinking that nothing bad ever happens and life is essentially like a video, and it's just not.
Well, it depends on the choices that you make.
Well, it depends on the choices that you make,
Yeah.
but a lot of us, unfortunately, are being ill-informed. A lot of us are just aren't being told. I wish that I had, people around me. I wish that I had a family base. A lot of women do have, and they have a family, and they have friends, and they have people who care, and they're educated better than I was. But many women and young girls aren't as educated as we should be.
Well, I want to take some questions from the audience.
I'd like to know, based on the subject matter and the content of the book, why would you dedicate a book like this to your son?
Because this is my life story, and this is a subject matter not just of my book, but of my life. And my son went through a lot of this with me. When I slept in the car, he was the only person in the car with me.
But you put your son, and you dedicated your book to the son, which means it opens it up to his school because his name is in the book.
His first name's in the book. A lot of children are named Naeem.
Yeah, but you pick him up at school, and you look just like this.
Okay.
So
and all the parents that know me, I'm in the PTA. I feel that people expect me to be ashamed. And all my life, I've been expected to be ashamed of who I am. And I'm not. And I think that it bothers a lot of people that I'm not ashamed. And a lot of us spend our lives being ashamed of who we are and what we've done and are afraid to share that with our children.
It doesn't bother me that you're not ashamed. I admire the fact that you're not ashamed. I think what bothers me is that I think you are a very smart woman. You're very articulate. And I think you do know exactly what you did. And you knew that naming names would be the thing that makes the press, because you were attracted to that. You're attracted to names. You're attracted to celebrity. And I think you do understand that naming these names means that, this is going to get attention. Okay. And I want you to be honest and sit here and be honest with me.
Well, you know what? I just wrote the book, and my publisher made that decision. Initially, the book had no names in it, and there are a lot of things that have been taken out.
But the publisher can only make the decision.
The publisher
of what
made
you
the
agree
decision,
with.
and I agreed with it because I felt that it was the truth, and it was actual. I didn't hide anything in that book.
You hid a lot.
Well, I mean, of all the things that were written, I didn't hide names and places and dates to protect people. This isn't a book about protection. It's a book about honesty and confessions, both on my side and hopefully on theirs.
How mad were you with those rappers that didn't support you?
Not
during your
mad at
time
all,
with
because
them?
I went back to them. It wasn't like they said no to me and then I was like, oh, that's it. I'm out of here. I'm going to write a book. It was okay. I went back. They gave me more money. I hung out. I still took the trips. I still did all of that. And then I left because I knew.
Not every single one of these guys.
Every single one of
Not
these
every single one. You didn't go back to every single one of them.
Well, the ones that had the most money, the ones that were flying me around, because I was homeless at the time. I was homeless at the time. And I had to find a way to get back on my feet. So in the back of my head, I know, okay, you don't care about me. So when I told you I was getting evicted, you said, whatever. So now I said, hey, everything's fine. Well, yeah, that was just, that was a bad week. I'm fine now. Okay, here you go, more money. I knew that if I wasn't the party girl anymore, then they wouldn't take care of me.
Karrine Steffans, thank you for being here. And thank you for being honest. You're dying inside, aren't you? I haven't been the hardest on you. I've seen your interviews, and there have been people that are super duper duper hard on you. This was actually a walk in the park.
Maybe I just wasn't in the mood for it today. I'm moody.
You're moody?
Yeah.
Well, you came on, and hopefully you're on a better step to getting your life in the right direction.
Absolutely. We'll be right back.
I'm like, weren't we out here getting money? Like, weren't we out here doing the thing? Weren't we listening to Foxy Brown and Lil Kim? Like, man, fuck these niggas, get this money. Like, it's whatever. Like, but it's so funny how so many women, they like the lyrics. When you're in the club and you're younger and you're in the club, you're like, that's my song. And then someone talks to you about it in real life and you're like, I don't know what you're talking about. But the men are getting their dicks sucked at a ridiculous rate. And a lot of y'all are single fucking mothers to this day. So, but I was the only person. I'm the scapegoat. Not just the goat, I'm the scapegoat. So I'm the only fucking hoe in the world. Ain't no other hoes. Your mama ain't a hoe. Where did your Christmas gifts come from? Your mom was struggling. You grew up in the hood. You didn't have no fucking money. Your mom was crying all the time. I don't have this. We got McDonald's at home. All this old bullshit. And then every fucking Christmas, come on now. Every fucking Christmas, your mom would pull a rabbit out of her pussy. And guess who the rabbit was? Uncle Steve, who's not related to nobody. But then nobody wants to talk about the shit. So now I'm out there on a fucking ledge. I'm getting death threats. I gotta be on fucking tour with a fucking police brigade. I got armed fucking policemen on fucking tour with me. It's like I'm the president. I was in Atlanta like I'm the president. Like literally, I'm in a brigade, nigga. Like I'm in a caravan. Like I'm out here. Like I'm Obama in this bitch in cracker country. Like it's crazy for me. And all of you dick sucking hoes that have 3 kids by 3 different niggas named Tyrone are acting as if I'm the only person who's ever seen a penis. And then part of the problem really was that I see rich penises and you see broke penises. So you're just really mad about that. That's what it is too. Because all your baby daddies are Tyrones. And we all got the same problems. Men don't get better if they have money. But the problem is, at least I can deal with a bullshit ass man if he's caking off and I don't have to worry about that. So the problem is, what you're really mad about is that all my penises are rich as fuck. They got money. They got status. They have opportunities they can put me on. That's what the hoes were mad about. Because I'm like, I know for a fact. I know I've seen women speak outwardly about me who were hoes on tape. Like we have actual footage of you having sex on stage at a Luke concert during fucking Freaknik, but you're on TV talking about me like you don't know how I ever did what I did. I would never. Bitch, we have footage of you. What are you talking about? The footage isn't dead. I got Luke's number. We kikied about you. We giggled, bitch. Me and Luke giggled about you. And then everybody ate the shit up like, oh. Because I'm not surrounded by niggas, and that's why. Because it's y'all. Do I feel vindicated by y'all? Absolutely fucking not. Y'all the fuck, and that's the other thing. I don't care. And here's what happens. Imagine you have a story. Imagine you're telling people, right? Like something awful happened to you. Name it, something awful. And no one believes you. And 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years go by. And no one believes you until someone else says it. And then those people are like, oh, now we believe you. Would you give a shit? Would you care? I was not ahead of my time. You weren't paying attention. You're late. None of this is new. This is not new. You're new. I'm not new. I wasn't ahead. This is late shit. This been happening. Go back decades. Go back from before I was even born. It's been happening. There was nothing new here. You were not paying attention. You idolized false gods. You were late, right? It wasn't me. I'm not some space creature like before my time saying things that hadn't been said before. Like, oh my God, have you not been tuned in to the sexual revolution? Have you not been tuned in? Did you not read about this? You don't follow Gloria Steinem's work? You don't go back to the 60s to the 70s? You don't see what women have been doing? You don't see the work that women have been doing for centuries? Go back to the suffrage fucking movement. You don't see what's been going on? For centuries. I wasn't ahead of my time. I didn't fall from Mars and say some shit like, oh, in the future, it will all make sense. You hoes were I might have been sucking real dicks. You were sucking dicks in another way. That kept you from seeing the fucking truth about men who fuck kids, who marry children. All the R. Kelly fans, some of y'all still plays fucking music. Like, I don't care. I like his music. Y'all are those. Y'all are those. Precisely. So yes. Good question. So looking back at the infamous interview with Tyra, I know you guys want to talk about this so bad. Looking back at the infamous interview with Tyra, how did you feel during the interview, and how do you feel now with the reaction to the interview by the general public? I can't let her drop my fucking banana bread. Can you believe that? That's crazy. So I felt during the interview, I wrote about this, by the way, in my second book, so it's not, I talked about this already. Some of you only think I have one book, but there are like 6. 2 that I published on my own, and then 6 with publishers, but okay. I felt I was tight. I was especially tight because I know Tyra's history, because we had some men in common, and one in particular told me a lot about her. So I knew her history, her actual bedroom history. And so I was just sitting there like, I would love to be able to right now say to this person, okay, but you fuck so-and-so for a role in this movie. You fuck so-and-so, like you worked we know the same people. Who are you talking to? We're from the same town. Who are you talking to? Like what? But I understood my assignment, which was to not allow anyone, especially her, to make a fool of me on a public stage. So I kept my cool. I didn't say what I could have said and all the information that I had. I remember her saying like, these men are my colleagues. And I was like, colleagues or niggas you fucked? Like, what are we talking about? Because your colleagues work for Victoria's Secret. The men you're talking about are men you had sex with. Like, but we couldn't be real in 2005 because everyone wants to be fake. So we have to sit there and pretend like Shaq is your colleague. When have you ever won an NBA championship, bitch? Show me the ring. Show me the fucking ring, ho. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? These men are not your colleagues. Your colleagues wear angel wings and you wear underwear for a living. What are we talking about? But I didn't say that. I just kept it to myself. I kept my decorum. I didn't say anything, and I just let it go. I just know one thing that I learned in all of my years of media is that the thing that people hate the most, whether it's on television but especially on radio, they call it radio silence. They hate it. I hate it. It's the one thing they don't want. They'd rather you call their mother a hoe before you go silent. So I just remember going silent. Give you is a soundbite. So what I'm going to give you is so awkward. Love it. So I just did a lot of that throughout a lot of my tour. Just went silent. A lot of my interviews, you hear that I just go silent. I remember one interview I was doing before my first book came out. I was doing a junket here in LA. It was like 5 a.m. in the morning, and I was with my partner at the time. I was at Bill's house, and I had to get up really early to do this junket. And I remember they asked me something really crazy. I just remember going silent, and the people like panicking, like, hello? Is she there? Is she still connected? Hello? And that's the first time I did it, and that's when I knew for sure. So I knew for sure I would use it, and so I did that then too. So that's it. And then listen, I still know what I know, and what I know is it's not even a secret around LA. Like, you know how you live in a town and you know everybody's business in that town. LA is a big city, but it's a town. Hollywood is a town, and the industry is a little township, and we all know everybody's shit. So Tyra's business is out there. I knew it. I was told it face to face. I know the shit. So I just kept my cool. How do I feel now that other people are kind of looking at it in the reaction? I don't feel anything. I feel like, okay, like, I don't know. How am I supposed to feel? You see it. You see how she talked to me.